Here we go. I'm tripping, man. I'm tripping. My goodness, what the world is going on with me? Well, here we go. Let me get it started. So, family, I'm sorry for the delay, but I really don't know what happened to my system. And I will tell you that is that I had um I will tell you that I had uh 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 seven I had it up for a minute. So I had it up for a minute, so it is what it is. Let me see if I can go up here and get this cut off though. See if I can get this turned off real quick. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2, check 1 2. All right, I'm good now. Man, I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. And I ain't even gonna try to figure it out, man. I got to figure it out tomorrow. But I haven't been streaming, so I definitely ain't been messing with my controls. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I ain't been messing with my controls, so I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Let me put a thumbnail up here real quick. You know what I mean? Anyway, man, I'm kind of upset about that, man. They try to take the wing out, take the wind from beneath my wings. Everybody share this real quick while I throw this thumbnail up here. Can y'all do that for me? Mm, mm, mm. I don't understand what happened, man. I mean, I don't understand what happened. But anyway, family, 'cause this is gonna be a good one tonight. Here we go. 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 You got Rusty Crenshaw. Crenshaw, hold up, Crenshaw. Are you from Crenshaw for real, or you playing? You know what I mean? Listen. Everybody talking about Kendrick and Drake, and we're gonna talk about that tonight. Myself, I'm not gonna talk about it in the conventional way, though. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Listen, I ain't gonna talk about it in the conventional way. Crenshaw, Crenshaw Brethren, tell me I got rusty. Man, go ahead, man. Listen. Listen, family. Listen. Listen to me. Listen to me. Family, you know there's a big distraction going on right now, right? There's a great distraction going on right now, right? And Crenshaw came in here so he can try to rep uh 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 Kendrick, you know what I mean, or something. Do y'all know how great of this how great now? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull this off like I had it set up, because I had my slides set up nice, and not slides, but my drops that I wanted to set up properly. But I'm gonna do my best because I wasn't prepared to do it on this platform, but I'm gonna do my best. So family, I don't know where you want to start at, but I'm gonna tell you where I'm gonna start at. One of the things that we need to know, family, is that two things, family. When the news media start promoting something real heavy, you can almost believe that there is a hidden agenda. And family, have you noticed on every news station, every news blog, everywhere you look, they are talking about. Let me show you something real quick. Everywhere you look, and I'm gonna show you. Everywhere you look, they are talking about Kendrick Lamar and um, Drake, as if it's a real beef going on. You feel what I'm saying? Like when are we going to wake up to realize that there's an agenda that's being played? Has anybody ever seen in the history of music that every besides the East Coast West Coast feud with Pac and Biggie, which was a real thing, um, has anybody ever seen in history where everywhere you look, they're talking about two rappers competing with rap? Listen, J. Edgar Hoover said that he's going to create your leaders for you. He's going to create your leaders for you. They create leaders and they create distractions. Family, with all the things that's going on in the world, this is the biggest news story everywhere. Whether you want to hear it or not, this is the biggest news story everywhere, and it ain't even news. Family, we've been duped, we've been played, and I'm telling you, family, it's a sad day when our people, I'm looking at on Twitter that people that I have respect for, I still got respect for them, like Red Pill and Blue Pill. They are chiming in as if this is the greatest conversation as it relates to us being liberated. It's just crazy to me that how we fall for the banana in the tailpipe every time. We never look for what's going on. We always pay attention to what they give us that's going on. It's a sad state of affairs for us as a people. It really is. It really is that we have allowed ourselves to be taken for a ride on silly stuff. Look at this. Let me show you. Billboard. Drake Kendrick Lamar beef explained timeline. The New York Times. Now see this. The New York Times. And the battle of Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. Now, I just did this a few minutes ago. You feel me? Black America who? Who you got? A complete list of Drake's and Kendrick Lamar diss songs. I mean, come on, man. I mean, with everything that we're up against and everything that we're facing, this is the brightest intellectual conversation that's given to our people. Ain't that crazy? They know we love to be entertained and we love to indulge in pastimes, things that really mean nothing. Webster County citizen Kendrick Lamar called Drake certified pedo in a new diss track. Anscape, NBC News, the year of the diss track. Drake releases Family Matters and Kendrick Lamar drops Meet the Grams. CBC, do you know what CBC is? Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. The juiciest moment in their beef. What is CBC? Anybody know? Could it be the Christian Broadcast Network? Family, now you know good and well. Family. Now you know good and well, if they are pushing this like this, you automatically know that it's an agenda. You're supposed to already know that. You're supposed to already know that this is an agenda. Now, the thing is that you got to try to figure out what's the agenda. Why are they pushing this and putting our attention on this? What else is going on that we don't see? What is going on that we don't see? What is the play that we don't see? Because obviously there's a play going on. Look, there's a play going on that we don't see. I haven't figured it out yet. The Vulture, track by track, timeline of Drake and Kendrick Lamar's feud. Variety, Kendrick Lamar drops yet another diss track. Forbes, I don't mean to yell in your ear, family, but Forbes, Drake and Kendrick Lamar feud. Lamar labels Drake a certified and latest diss track. Forbes. Now, you mean tell me that we don't know, that we can't think past the ideals that's being given to us? I watch some of the conscious people that I respect. I watch them chiming in as if this is a good conversation to be had about who's beating this rap battle. I ain't getting in that conversation. I'm going to give listen, the difference between Moorish World TV and other platforms is I'm going to give you my point of view, And it probably has nothing to do with the current point of view that's being pushed. So if you think I'm gonna push a point of view that's consistent with the point of view that's being pushed, then you got the wrong one today. Because I'm not pushing that today. No. Because to me, they both weird to me. They both weird to me. You know what I mean? Listen, that's weird to me. To me. I mean, let me get down to the nitty-gritty. That's weird to me. I'm just made a little bit different, maybe. But that's just a little bit weird to me. That's a little bit weird to me. I'm not cut from this cloth. I'm just a little bit different. And they're comparing weirdness. I'm not cut from this cloth. This guy is really walking around with a jeweled out thorns in his head. And we're gonna sell this to our teenagers. We're gonna sell this to our children. We're gonna sell this to the public by endorsing it as if it's a legitimate conversation. It's not a legitimate conversation. Let's stop playing. It's not a legitimate conversation. There's nothing legitimate about this conversation here. Family, if you're in Baltimore on June the 8th, I will be at TNAT, Temple of New African Thought, Wholeness Wellness Center, 5525 Harford Road, Baltimore, Maryland, 21214. Unveiling Islam, African Tradition for Pan-African Empowerment. I'll be there to give the history, the true history on the spread of Islam in the purest form, how it interweaves with African tradition, in particular Pan-African tradition. And I'm not talking about pale Arabs in this lecture. I'll be talking about us. Back to scheduled program. That's right. Anyway, to me, this is weird to me. This is weird to me, and I don't care if people are fans of Kendrick Lamar, get mad. It is what it is, family. We got so much stuff going on that I don't even believe that this should be this is something that we should be entertained by. This is something we should be entertained by, not acting like it's a win, lose, or draw. This is something like when we watch battle rap, when we watch Loaded Lux, and when we watch stuff like this. This is not something that we should be watching as if it's the end of the world is coming and the war is ready to kick off, and like everybody's engulfed in this demonstration. It blows me away. It blows me away to watch how many people that fall in line with this foolishness right here, family. And they don't even see the play. They don't even see the play. Now, I don't know what many people are talking about. I'm gonna be honest, but I know that a lot of people are talking about the like it's a real big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a real big deal. Let me give you an example. They get mad at me. You know they get mad at me, but it's all right. Let me give you an example what I'm talking about. Wesley Muhammad right now, and I know they get mad when I talk about Wesley. Wesley Muhammad is right now on the Rockwell radio show talking about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Then you mean tell me Wesley Muhammad, who prides himself on his PhD and all the books he wrote as a scholar, and somebody asked him to come and talk about Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef, which is most likely orchestrated. And here you go. And I like Wesley, but here we go. And I'm only using it as an example. Hey, you can talk about whatever you want. It's the internet. But don't knock me when I start talking about whatever I want. But the point that I'm making is much of what we have heard from Dr. Wesley Muhammad is him being proud of being a scholar. So not only him, we got the Umars, we got the red pills, we got the blue pills, we got anybody and everybody chiming in about who's winning, what's the beef about, and every little nook and cranny about it. It's insane to me. Somebody say he's saying the same thing you said. I hope so. I just said, Dave, I don't know what he's saying, but I hope so. I just said that, Dave, so don't misquote me. I hope so. I'm not listening to it. I hope so, because it's ridiculous that we have given this stuff that much attention. You know what I mean? Let me show you something, family. Let me share something with you real quick. Let me go over here real quick. I told you I wasn't ready to do it with this. Let me show you something real quick. Family, I said in the beginning that all of this stuff is weird to me. You follow me? I said it is all is weird to me. So let me show you what I mean by weird. And then we're going to talk about these rallies too. This is weird to me. He couldn't be my son role model. I can only be my son role model. But if my son was to choose a role model from public figures, this could not be one. Secondly, this is weird. This is no bigger weird or shorter weird or weaker weird. This is weird too. All of this is weird. All of this is weird. There is no winner. They are both losers to me. All of this is weird. This is what we've been reduced to talk about. Come on, man. No. How does Drake come out of the woodwork and convince people that he's one who has been in the trenches? How does that work? He has convinced people, like, I know better and you know better, but he has convinced people that he was in the trenches in some way, shape, or form through his rap songs. Like, we know, but like, come on now, we supposed to know that Drake is an actor. Like, how does this get a pass even before a rap battle? Let's just go in, man. How do we give a rap battle interest when things like this is happening before a battle? But to be for real, everybody was on the same team. They all was together at one time. Y'all remember? Y'all don't think this is orchestrated? They were all together at one time. Everybody that been rocking with him, all the gangsters that was co-signing him, they knew his name was Aubrey Graham. They knew that. Everybody was co-signing him. Somebody say, Dre is a mixed guy. Jay is a mixed guy doing blackface. So what? The gangsters co-signed him. What's the brother from Texas? The gangster guy, supposedly, Rap A Lot Records, they co-signed him. They sold them to the people. Don't flip on them now. They sold them. Now all of a sudden, oh, he this, he that. Nah, everybody was rocking. Everybody was rocking. And I believe that this is all a part of the script. Even this battle is a part of the script. I ain't going for this okey doke. I ain't going for this okey doke. It's all a part of the script to keep us distracted. All the gangsters that was co-signed to him knew about Degrassi. All of them selling us out. All of them getting the check. Let's stop playing. Come on, man. He's an actor. Let's be for real. He is an actor. He is an actor, and all of these people that our people look up to, they sell these people to us, including Kendrick. That stuff is sold to us. Do you know how many superstar rappers that don't even get a chance because they do not compromise? And you believe, after we covered the Puffy story, you believe that the luck of the draw of talent pushes even Kendrick Lamar in your face. Do you believe that? Kendrick Lamar is all right. But listen, in the 90s, nah. We had the Rakims, we had the Mobb Deeps, we had the Biggies, we had the Pacs. Come on now. And you don't see how they sell this stuff to our people? Even the Kendrick Lamars. They sell these people to our people. And then when they need to use them as a distraction, they throw them before our face with this fake nonsense. With this fake nonsense. And our people eat it up. The younger generation eat it up. Like, come on, man. This guy, Drake, is an actor. Let's be clear. So he acting out lyricism that people write for him. Like, we should not, like, why do I have to, why do I even have to cover this story for real? I mean, only reason I'm covering it because I want to give the other side of the coin, because I heard nobody yet. And if brothers say Wesley Muhammad was on it like I am, then well, that's all good. But I haven't heard anybody say, hold up, man, wait a minute, pump the brakes. And I'm talking about people that's supposed to be conscious. I'm not talking about regular everyday people that get caught up in entertainment. I'm talking about people that's supposed to be aware, people that's supposed to be for social advancement. And they following the narrative of this stuff. Go look at your favorite conscious personality, because that's all they are, is personalities too. Watch what they be doing. They be talking, oh, no, Drake got this one. Oh, no, Drake coming back. Oh, no, Kendrick got him with this one. These are supposed to be the leaders. These are supposed to be the leaders that is endorsing this stuff. The guy you say, I said it, I just didn't have an audience. That's all right. I'm going to say it for you, sis. I'm going to say it for you. Said he be falling off because he be doing that a lot. You see what I'm saying? My main man said he, who came at the Moors, said he should be debating me about Moors, African, and all that stuff, and educating people. He's sitting up there endorsing and talking about who's winning a battle. Like, who cares? Like, who cares? Who cares who's winning a battle at this point? But hey, somebody do, I guess. Y'all don't think that this is in the cards? When they was talking about Drake playing Obama in a biopic. See, once you get into the political perspective and you start seeing stars rubbing shoulders with politicians, former or current, whenever there's a big hoopla or a lot of attention made to these people, you can almost believe that it's orchestrated. And I say almost because we think that it's organic. This stuff is not organic. Nothing organic about this stuff. This stuff is scripted. This stuff is not organic. Ain't nothing organic about this stuff. Listen, whenever you see a politician mingling with, whenever you see a politician mingling with an entertainer, and particularly an actor, there is something going on that we need to figure out behind the scenes. If I can get you to think, you can save yourself. We need to figure out what's really going on. There's something going on. Listen. Every news outlet is pushing this narrative. If you ever lay on a bed of roses, you better be aware of the thorns. You feel me? Now, in one regard, they're trying to revive rap. Let me tell you in one regard. And something political going on too. When they do something like this, listen. In one regard, they're trying to revive rap. Hip hop as a selling commodity has fell off in a big way. You know what I mean? Hip hop as a selling commodity has fell off in a big way because most companies haven't been able to adjust to the streaming concept since it became a thing. The transition from streaming, if you will, the transition from streaming, from CD to streaming has been a major struggle. So one of the things that they're doing is they're bringing hype back to hip hop in another way. No hip hop songs or albums have charted #1 in 2023. By June 2022, 6 albums and 2 songs have reached Billboard Mountaintop. This was June 14, 2023. We're now going into June again, 2024. And ironically, somebody will chart. Somebody is going to chart. Because all of this propaganda leads me to believe that it will be Kendrick Lamar that will chart and maybe revive the rap industry as it relates to sales. That's just one level. But there's also something political going on. Which I'm of the thought that a political restart is going with Trump going into office. I'm of that thought. There it is. Thank you, Royale. They already charted. Thank you, Royale Diamond. There it is. My point is made. There it is. But that's only one side because there's also a political agenda. And the political agenda is Trump is the man that is going to do the ultimate restart. You think that 19 was something? He's the man that's going to do the ultimate restart. Royale, he just thank you, brother. He said 10 million views in one day. There you go. And I'm gonna tell you, these distractions is to get you off of the path of political agendas locally. See, listen, many people are looking at Trump from the national election, but in reality, if they can get Republicans around the country to win elections, then they can do a crazy restart. You hear what I say? They can do a crazy restart. See, one thing about politics, you have to understand that the presidency can only do but so much, but he can do more if he has more of his constituents around the country. Because remember, it's a party. It's not one person. I mean, look, Mr. Bay said he sold shoes that sold out. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a party. So once the party, people got to understand, once the party is in position in the Senate and in Congress, now the agenda of whatever restart that needs to happen can happen. See, Trump learned last time that, okay, you got these people that's in opposition of this restart that we about to do. Okay. All right. He know now, and those that you don't see know now, that when he comes back, and he will be back, when he comes back, they're going to smash all around because we are going to be distracted. We're not going to be looking at the issues locally. We're not going to be looking at things that affect us politically locally. We're not going to be looking at the Senate. We're not going to be looking at Congress. We're going to be looking at Kendrick Lamar. We're going to be looking at Drake. And we're going to be participating in the next goofy march. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be participating in the next goofy march. That means rally for reparations. We're going to be the next goofy march. Our focus is going to be so off that now the restart can happen. And nobody got to like what I'm saying. I'm just telling you the truth. I mean, we're going to be our focus is going to be over here while they over here in the cookie jar. That's right. We're going to be worrying about spaceships. We're going to be worrying about marches. We're going to be worrying about reparations on a Saturday. We're going to march on Saturday for reparations. Not even march. We're going to set up a stage and we're going to bring performers to talk about reparations on a Saturday. Now let's make that make sense. Now let's make that make sense. If somebody invites you to reparations, it is. You know what? King thought it's the MSTFA fault. You're right. Because these elders taught us greasy. They taught us wrong. They taught us the not how to be leaders. And now we had to find our way. And I'm finding my way, and I'm going to take a lead and try to give people the philosophy on how to get up out here. But you're right. It's the MSTFA fault. I agree. Because none of these Moors jumped out and challenged the status quo. None of these Moors of the MSTFA jumped out and say that is wrong. Nobody jumped out and challenged anything that would make them look like they're agitators or they disagreeable. You're right. It is. It's Moors' fault. Because I believe that Moors should have taken a more active role in some of these social ills that is facing our community. If the Black Power group took some roles, then why shouldn't the Moors be responsible too? If the church took some roles, then we should have took some too. But the elders, they were shook. They taught us, to your way be yours, to my way be mine. They taught us, we must learn to love instead of hate. They taught us, a wise man don't endanger himself for a fool. They taught us all of these little cliches to keep us inactive. Look at the civil rights movement. How many feds do you see in the building? Look at the civil rights movement. How many feds did you see out there? Look at the Million March cookout. The Million March. Ain't no more on the stage. Don't try to be friends with me now. Y'all ain't invite no more on the stage to give our opinion of how to address the social ills. But now when I address people about their misinformation and disinformation, they get mad at me. I mean, y'all don't care about the Moors' opinion. Not from the Million Man March, not from the Sunni community, not from the Hebrew community. Now ain't nobody care about the Moors' opinion. So don't get mad now. We call you on your I call you on your madness. They get mad when I call them now. Don't get mad now. You ain't invite us to the cookout, the Million Man March cookout. We ain't get no invite. We ain't get no invite. We ain't get no invite. Don't get mad now because we call you out on your spaceships. Don't get mad now because we call you out on your nonsense of 20 or 30, 40, 50 years and haven't produced nothing that relates to us being independent or liberated. Don't get mad at Tahaka Bay now. Don't get mad now because y'all ain't invite us to the cookout. No, I wasn't around, but heck, it was some Moors around. Don't talk about Assalamu alaikum. We love Prophet Noble Drew Ali. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You love him now because the Hawker Bay on your heels on this social media demonstration. Look at Lunch going, you just had to get on the bus. No, I want to invite. I don't want to get on no bus. I don't come where I ain't invited. What are you talking about? I'm just playing. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Brother, why are you always coming at the minister like that? I just don't understand. Y'all know how many times I get that. Brother, I'm just saying. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Why do you come at the minister like that? I'm not understanding. But yeah, hold up, man. Woo! Hold up, man. Let me right back. Let me real fast. I get a little bit warm. I gotta get to my show. Hold up. Check, check, check. My bad. What did I do? All right. I get spare a little bit. Anyway, now let me get to my point. Let me get back to my point. Let me get back to my point. Anyway, get that out of there. Get back to my point real quick. But listen, what I'm saying is that whenever there is a rapper, entertainer, whenever they get close to a politician, especially at the presidential level, you can almost believe the moist mouth on it. You can almost believe that. You can almost believe that there's an agenda. You can almost believe that there's an agenda. You follow me? You see this? There's an agenda. The problem is that we have yet to figure out what the agenda is. The problem is that we are not critically thinking to figure out what's the agenda. And this is where we fall short. This is where we fall short because we continue to be played by puppets who play us. What interest would it be for? And listen, I'm not knocking anybody, but for the sake of the conversation, what conversation do Kendrick and President Obama have, Jay-Z and President Obama have, if it's not predicated upon influence? To influence people into something. What else do you talk to an entertainer about if you in the top position of the country, besides the fact that you can sway people towards an agenda by your entertainment? Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Look at this. Ain't that something? Y'all be believing that this stuff is organically given. This is not organically given. This is not organically given. It's as Thurman Smart says, it's to persuade black votes or to just distract them from even becoming politically active. And politically active doesn't mean nationally. This is all great distractions, family. I got to call a spade a spade. I mean, and we caught up in the middle of it, and it's crazy. Look at this. We caught up in the middle of this stuff. What is this conversation all about? There you go. They use entertainers as distractions. It doesn't get, it shouldn't get no clearer than this. Like, let's get for real, family. What do two successful rapper millionaires really got a beef about? Listen, you look at the Tupac and the Biggie beef. Tupac was robbed, and he said that Biggie knew about it, and Biggie let him sleep. He let Biggie sleep on the couch. He seen Biggie as a friend, and he felt that Biggie should have gave him the heads up. Like, you didn't have to tell me that they was going to rob me, but you should have said something like, bro, don't even go to the studio tonight. That is a real beef right there. But now when we start talking about this type of situation, what two successful millionaire rappers, what they beefing about, man? And we caught up in the middle of it? I'm not. I just think it's ridiculous. I just think it's ridiculous that the things that we're up against as a people, that we got time for this. It blows me away. It blows me away that we can even involve ourselves in this type of stuff, man. It is something to me. I mean, it really is. It really is. Like, come on, let's be for real. This what we doing. This what we doing. This what we doing for real. Like this, I mean, like what is this the model of? What is this the model of? What's this? What is this the model of? What's this the model of right here? What is this? What is this? What is this the model of? What do we get out of? You know, it was one time when entertainment always had hidden messages in it or something like that, and you be trying to figure this stuff out, kind of like the Matrix. And when you look at hip hop, you know, even when it started going left, man, you looked at the bars, you looked at the metaphors, you looked at all of this stuff, and it was mind bending and it was challenging and all of this stuff. But then we look at this stuff. This stuff is prearranged. This stuff is set up. As if, and I go right back to it. It reminds, it's crazy that someone can have a rap battle and tell you everything that we already knew. We already knew that he was an actor. We already knew that somebody was writing his lyrics for him. We already knew back again that he was an actor. So he can act out anything that he wants to act out. And he's very good at it. So what can Kendrick say that we don't already know? He's an actor. Okay, you don't know about his other child. He's an actor. He's an actor. It's insane. It's insane that we get distracted with these things. And so the objective of Moorish World TV, you know what I mean? Big Ma said, it's entertainment, brother. Get your popcorn. The whole thing about it is that while the world is being entertained, or our world is being entertained, there's another world that is moving on, controlling and continuing our oppression while we're looking that way. There's another group. There's an agenda that gets you to face this way while they work on something that way. It's an agenda. And that's my point that I'm making. Why don't we try to figure out why are they pointing us towards this fake entertainment thing? What's going on over here that we're missing? And that's what we got to figure out. What are we missing? I already know in my opinion, I believe that Trump will be elected. I believe that Trump going to have a restart. I believe that while y'all believe that this this tether thing and this immigrant thing is an issue, I believe that they are letting people into the country to replace the working class, quote unquote, Africans in America. That's what I believe. I don't believe they fighting to get undocumented workers out the country. I don't believe they're going to put up a wall. I believe they're replacing you. They're replacing you. And one day you're going to look up and you're going to be living in FEMA camps in the park in trailers because you won't be able to pay your rent, your mortgage, and your utilities. And they're going to be sitting up in there just like it's Katrina all over again. That's what I see 20, 30 years from now. That's what I vision. Because we don't even realize that we're being replaced. We're being replaced. We have gotten to the point where we depend on somebody to give us a job as opposed to creating a job. And when they cannot give you a job, then you go and look for rations to drop out of planes. You go look for rations at the local social service department. You go look for housing. And when that is not available, the next thing is available is a FEMA trailer in the park on a football field. And it is what it is. Because we've been so much distracted by these things over here. You've been so distracted by these things over here, and you're being replaced over here. It is what it is. All the money is being digitally distributed. So if you are messed up somewhere financially, all you got to do is press a button. All you got to do is press a button. Most of y'all then feel like y'all made it and got all of these up-to-date cars. I remember my oldest son mother, she had got, it was years ago, she had got a Ford Focus. It was an up-to-date model for that year. And she had dropped my sons off, and she went to start the car and it wouldn't start. She's like, I know I got gas. I went and got the jumper cables and tried to give her a hot shot. Nothing. And it sounded like it wanted to turn over. It sounded like it wanted to turn over, but it just wouldn't. And I ain't know what was going on. This was about 10 years ago. I didn't know what was going on. Like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what to tell you. She decided to call a mechanic, and the mechanic said, turn it over. Let me hear it. And he said, oh, you ain't pay your car note. They cut you off. So back then, she called the people. She could not move that car until she paid. She couldn't move that joint. She couldn't move that joint until she paid that car note. They cut that joint off from the office. Now, that was about 10 or more years ago. You know good and well that from a satellite, they can shut your car down. And whether you pay it or not, if something was to go left in society, all it takes is a button to shut you down. That's all it takes. So I say all that to say, all of these distractions. They put that joint on pause. That she's look crazy too. But all of these distractions, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? All of these distractions, like we ain't even aware what's really going on. Like, come on, man. He's an actor, man. You know what I mean? This shouldn't be no surprise. They predicted this, not even predicted it. They tell you what they're going to do before they do it. They tell you what they're going to do before they do it. That they been did that. They talked about this when President Obama was in office. And you mean tell me that we not catching the play? Here we go again. Out of all the rappers, the play that they hit you with is something that Obama talked about when he was in office. Why would they ask him? Y'all, see, what y'all need to know is, man, see, I need some time on my hand to show you how the Pentagon actually controls Hollywood and how Hollywood and the music business have always been in bed together. So one is connected to the other, and it's a full ecosystem. It's a full ecosystem. Political entertainment is a full-fledged ecosystem. Hollywood, music, movies, music, political. It's an ecosystem, and you can't get away from it. You can't get away from it. And only those who have eyes can see will be able to see it. Have y'all noticed on YouTube lately, much of the videos that you see now are made by AI? You can hear the AI voices. Press 7 if you hear what I'm saying. Most of the video, if you click right now you probably got your favorite podcasters. I get that. But if you go clicking through videos on YouTube, 1 out of 5 videos that you click will be an AI driven made video. That's right. At least, and I'm being generous saying 1 out of 5. I'm being generous. 90% of your TikToks, 90% of your shorts, 90% of your short videos on any platform is AI driven. They're made by AI. That's called replacement. They're replacing content creators. And they're replacing content creators because you don't have to pay an AI. So many people that you see on social media, many people might accuse me for that, but no, many people that you see that was content creators are gone or falling back a little bit. And I fell back a little bit because I got a lot of work that I need to do as it relates to these legal matters, and I can't let these legal matters slip through the cracks. So I'm busy on legal matters. You feel what I'm saying? That's the only thing I'm busy on. But most of these people, they're being replaced by AI. I could care. For me, hey, listen, at the end of the day, I'm gonna continue to do this. I love to give people information. I love to go against the grain of what's the norm. I'm gonna continue to do this. I don't care if I have to somehow raise money and start me what you call the what you call one of them things. Come on, man. What's the I can't think of the TV channel thing. You know the TV channel thing? I forget the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. A Tubi channel. I don't know. One of them. I don't care. I like to do this. I like to do this. I love to do research. I love to give you what I find from the research. That's right. So at the end of the day, I'm going to do this. I would love to make a coin off of it so I can be comfortable in doing it. But nevertheless, I'm going to do this because I believe that all the information out there, so that telethon, you know what I mean? All the information out there. Thank you, bro, for coming to member, man. I'm gonna be doing 2 member videos a week, family. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be doing 2 member videos a week. Not a telethon. I said a Tubi channel, but I'm talking about the Roku. I don't care if I gotta raise money to get me a Roku channel. I'm going to be doing this because I enjoy research and I enjoy giving you the research that I find. I enjoy solving puzzles. You know what I mean? So my channel is really about solving puzzles. You follow what I'm saying? Family, let me move on to the next topic, family. But family, listen, try to figure out what the play is. That's what I wanted to say. Try to figure out what the play is. You know what I mean? Because there's definitely a play going on. You understand what I'm saying? There's definitely a play going on. Now, another play that we got to pay attention to is these rallies, family. These rallies. Listen, man, these rallies are nothing more than Negro distractions. You hear what I say? These rallies are nothing more than I don't think you heard me. They're nothing more than Negro distractions. And what they're doing is they are collecting data. All of these rallies that you see in this day and time are nothing but ways to get your face recognition and data, getting you put into a database, whether you know it, like it, or not. You hear what I say? Listen, J. Edgar Hoover told you that he is going to create your leaders. Fam, I want you to listen to me clear because I'm going to take a good 30 minutes right now and I want to break this down for you. And I'm not saying paint them all with a wide brush, university rallies. No. In fact, a university rally is probably the most genuine rally that you could attend. Because guess what? You know that the student union put this rally together for whatever cause they have concerning the school. a prep rally, a pep rally, you know what that is about. But when there is a reparations rally on Saturday, when there is a protest on Saturday, when there is something to bring attention to something that's political on Saturday or Sunday, family, is orchestrated by the peoples. It's just what it is. It's orchestrated by the peoples. You don't make a point on Saturday or Sunday. It don't work like that, brother, sister. It don't work like that. You are most impactful with a rally or a rally or a protest during business hours. You hear what I said? During business hour. In DC, during governmental business hours. Give me 1 second. You hear what I say? That's when you do it. You do it during business hours. Why? Because you're going to create the most attention during business hours. You hear what I say? You're going to create the most attention during business hours. Family, I got a question for you. When was the Million Man March? Can anybody tell me when was the Million Man March? They're going to get mad at me, I know. I'm trying to put you up on game. When was the Million Man March? Anybody know what year? What year was the Million Man March? Anybody know? I'm watching. Anybody gonna help me out? What year? 1995. I'm talking about the first Million Man March. 1995. Do anybody know the date? October the 15th. Take a guess what day that it fell on. Can anybody guess? Guess what day it fell on? I'm going to put you up on game. Listen, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm going to give you the facts of the matter. Guess what day it fell on? Family, I'm going to show and prove my demonstration. How much government, our situation is a governmental problem. Understand? The Negro problem, it wasn't a Monday, Stephen X. The Negro problem is a political problem. The Negro problem is a political problem. Let me get like Umar said one more time. The Negro problem is a political problem. You don't address political issues marching on Saturdays or Sundays. You don't address political. It's a political issue. You don't listen, family. You don't listen to me. I want to say it one more time. You don't address political problems on a Saturday or Sunday. You're not disrupting anything. You're just giving a show. You're only giving a show. That's all you're doing. You're giving a show. You're not disrupting anything. Family, we got to wake up. We're being played. We're being played. And we're happy to be played. We're proud to be played. But let me ask you something. What politically came out of a million people in DC on a Sunday? What politically came out of million people? See, listen. This is why they get mad at me. What politically came out? Huh? What came out of it? Listen, if we want to do better, we have to critique where we went wrong, or we have to critique where it didn't look right. He said that it was on a Monday. Who said it was on a Monday? Come on, Stephen X. Your brother got an X on your name. Come on, Stephen X. Come on, Stephen X. Stop that. Stephen X, stop that. Come on, man. Stephen X, stop that. Let's Google. When was the Million Man March? Political demonstration in Washington, D.C. on October. I got you. It was on a Monday. He said the 16th. Why did I think it was? Hold up 1 second. Let me make sure I'm correct. Make sure I'm correct, Stephen. You might be right, brother. I'm thinking the 15th, so I stand to be corrected. But let me get to my point anyway. Stephen is right. Farrakhan is in the building. I'm going to drop this right here. I thought it was the 15th. My apology. Anyway. There you go right there. I just dropped it for you. Let me see. Did I drop it? Hold up. Did I just do it? For the advancement of colored people? Now, let me ask you, Stephen. Here we go. Let's get back to the point. What came out of the Million Man March politically? What came out of it politically? Listen, we just trying to get this right. So if I missed the day, what came out of it politically? This is the point I want to make. My point still stands. If there is a march or rally on Saturday or Sunday, there's definitely nothing coming out of it politically. But what came out of the Million Man March politically? My point still stands. Now, let's get into this reparations thing. Family, they got rallies going on. They're going to have reparations going on. But now, one of the things I got to ask you is, when this reparation happened, look at the date that it's fall on, and then let's look at who's participating in this rally. Family, at the end of the day, what qualifies any of these people to educate somebody about reparations? What qualifies Reza Islam to educate people about reparations, and what is the catalyst to these people? Let me rephrase this. How do these people represent anybody getting reparations, man? Come on now. This is ridiculous. Risa had $1 million criminal trial to just disappear. Vicky Dillard was under a federal incarceration for some sort of swindling. Marcel Dixon just jumped out the window and into a campaign. There is no notable names that is qualified. There is no listen, let's keep it a whole stack, family. What qualifies this for this conversation on a Saturday? Swing over here. These three here. What are we talking about? Look, Stephen X say, thank you. Here go my point again. Funny fact, I think the politicians left Washington the day of the march. And I actually heard that too. But my point is, our problem is political. Family, whenever you see something like this, you know good and well, even if it's a few up there with good intentions, you know good and well that something is going on. I'm going to show you something that's going on in a minute. And not to mention the Baltimore native, Dr. Mayat. She's going to be on the panel. And I'm definitely going to ask her next time I see her, because I just realized this the other day. I'm going to ask her next time I see her, because the last time I seen her, she said that she wasn't doing anything with Tariq. Yeah. She said she wasn't doing anything. But what makes this? What makes this? Why are people, what makes people qualified? Somebody says she lied to me. And guess what? I'm going to ask her about it next time I see her. I'm going to ask her. Because she surely said that to me. She surely said that to me. She surely said that to me. And I don't understand. I mean, I do understand more than I put out. I understand, but I do. It's crazy. Like, why would you say one thing and something's going on? I can tell you that. I can tell you that. Something is going on. Let me show you something. There is no, listen, there is no march that our people, there is no rally that our people have done in modern days that have changed anything politically. Now many of our people, we will look down on politics. Many of our people will call it politics. Many of our people, but let's be clear. When you look at stuff as it relates to political movements that get things done, family, we got a bunch of examples. When you look at a protest, let's take it all the way back to the Europeans with the Boston Tea Party. What did that protest look like? What did that protest look like? They threw the commerce over the water. They threw it over the water. December the 16th, 1773. They threw it over the water. That's what their protests look like. They wouldn't give it no show. They wouldn't give it no show. On a Thursday. The Women's Suffering Parade, 1913. They was moving to get something politically done. You see that? 6 years later, in 1919, the 19th Amendment gave all women the right to vote. Political. I'm trying to give you some examples. They wasn't having parties. They wasn't having parties to fight their cause. What about the bonus march? Anybody familiar with the bonus march? When the war ended in 1918, they didn't want to pay the soldiers their money, and they went to DC. Anybody familiar with the bonus march? And they went to DC. They ended up getting their money, and I think it was years later, 1945 or something. They started the march in 1932. They got their money in 1945. When you looking at people are protesting, and when you looking at people are marching, even when you're talking about, Martin Luther King and all them, they was moving on political agendas. Family, there is not. That's right. The Army attacked the veterans. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's called the bonus march. Let me read it for y'all. The bonus march. These people were serious about their bread. It say after World War I ended in 1918, veterans were promised bonuses that would be paid in 1945. But the Great Depression hit in 1930s. Many veterans needed money sooner. In May 1932, Walter Waters of Portland, Oregon, led a group to Washington, D.C. to ask for their money. The bonus army camped near the U.S. Capitol for nearly 3 months. That's a protest. Crowd estimates vary, but it's likely that 10,000 to 25,000 veterans participated. At the time, the protests at the Capitol were technically illegal. That's how you get the ball rolling. But they were common and were often allowed. The bonus army even got help from D.C. police chief. Congress was divided on providing the bonus. The House of Representatives passed legislation to provide it, but the bill failed to pass it in the Senate. Ultimately, Congress did not give veterans their money early. Meanwhile, concern grew about the camp, so did fears of the communists were a part of the group. At the time, First Amendment rights could be limited if there were clear and present danger of harm to public safety or national security. Today, it's much harder to limit these rights. President Herbert Hoover ordered police and the army to get rid of protesters. The camps were tear gassed and burned, shocking many at the treatment of veterans. That was a real sacrifice. That was a real sacrifice. So when we're talking about rallies and we're talking about marching, if you don't have a political agenda in place, you're only having a show. You're only having a show. You're only giving a show. It's advertisement. It's advertisement for the next grift. It appears to be, it only appears that you're fighting for reparations. It only appears that you're fighting for liberation. It only appears, but it's only advertisement. Umar School is advertisement to say, look, I'm doing something. The club in California is only advertisement. Look what I did. I told you I was going to do it. It's a billboard. That's all. It's a billboard for the next grift. If I grift you over $2 million a year, and I spend even 500,000 on promoting it, I'm still winning. I'm still winning. If I didn't got you for $2 million, and I go and get a juke joint, for lease, I still got you. For a mortgage, I still got you. It's only advertisement. You donate me $2 million, and I go put 500,000 down on a mortgage, and I'm paying it every month. Who winning? Who winning? So it becomes a billboard for the cause. But whose cause? For the cause of the grifter. It's just a billboard. That's all. A rally is the billboard. It's just a billboard. That's all it is. And simple-minded people, what they're going to do is, well, we're going down there to get our money. We're going to Dixie to get our money. Well, DC will be closed for business on Saturday. You're not going to get nothing. You're going to validate someone to people that don't know no better about a grift. You're selling them a grift. Watch this. I just showed you a panel that is going to be talking. Family, do you know that there is qualified people to speak on reparations that have been having this conversation for almost 10 years or more that never get called to these conversations? Y'all don't think that's odd? Y'all don't think that it's odd that you have people that actually have been in this conversation for over 10 years or better? Whether you know them or not, they exist. The National African American Reparations Commission. You mean tell me none of these, whether you agree with them or not, is neither here nor there? You mean tell me none of these educators are there on these propagandized reparations conversations? You mean tell me that these people are not there? Doc said Matt Cobra have been talking about it for decades. You mean tell me they can't get people like that there? Huh? This shows you that it's a fluke. These are people, whether you agree with them or not, these are people that are educated in the matter in some capacity. In some capacity. In Cobra, Doc say, in Cobra. In some capacity. Whether we agree with them or not, they are educated in the matter. Like if I came talking about reparation, I would give my philosophy. But these people appear to be working in the field. Not these people. These people. This is what they do. Let's look at their credentials. Founder of National Black Cultural Information Trust. Independent International Consulting, Sterling, Virginia. Labor, who is that? Bill Fletcher. Labor and social justice activist. Former President Trans African Forum, Washington, D.C. Dr. V.P. Franklin, former editor and Journal of African American History, author of Young Crusaders, New Orleans. Dr. Cheryl Grills, professor of psychology, director, Psychology Applied Research Center, Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles, California. Justin Hansford, Esquire, executive director, Thurgood Marshall Civil Rights Center. Okay. Com Howard, executive director, Reparation United, former national co-chair of NCOBRA, Chicago, Illinois. Dr. Julian Malvox, political economist and president emeritus, Bennett College for Women. Montague Simmons, co-chairman. You mean tell me that, come on now, Dr. Faye Williams, Esquire, president of Dr. Dick Gregory of Dick Gregory Society, president emeritus, National Congress of Black Women, pastor of Empowerment Temple, Baltimore, former pastor of Historic Vernon EME. I might got to go meet with him, see what he got to say. Robin Ruth Simmons, founder of executive director of First Repair. What I'm saying is, like we, there's qualified people. Dr. Ron Daniels, president, Institute of Black Worlds, 21st Century New York. Don Rojas, director of communications and international relations for the Institute of Black World, 21st Century Baltimore. See what I'm saying? Like, and you mean tell me, like, we don't have to agree with these people. Somebody say, what do Black Alpha do? I don't know. But there is people out there that is qualified to speak on how to obtain in the direction we need to go for reparations in the direction that they're going. So that's the point that I'm making. These distractions are major distractions. They're major distractions. Listen, we can march all day long if we want to. Every year, you will find many causes to rally for, to march for every year. Let me give you a few of them. Let me see something. I grabbed a few of them just for the sake of time. You can Black Women's March. That's going to happen May 12th. I'm going to go check this march out. I'm going to march too. I'm going to document this stuff, see what's really going on. Black Women's March on the White House, depending on resisting to the terror of child protection services, calling for Black community control of child protections. I'm trying to tell you, listen, we can do this all day long. And 10 years from now, we've been marching for something else. So it's obvious that we need to find a better way to address the social ills that plague our community. Because listen, we're going to have marches all the time. We're going to have marches all the time. But these marches are not doing what they did during the time of King. They're not doing nothing. So listen, family. It's time for a new strategy. Many of these marches and rallies, especially if you're talking about rallies, they're nothing about shows. They're nothing more than shows. They're concerts. They're revivals. That's all. They're concerts and revivals. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. There's nothing more, nothing left. The concerts and revivals. Now, Black Women's March on Washington. This might be a genuine group. I'm going to go check them out because I would love to support bringing attention to things like this. But when you start talking about reparations and then we start making traditions of rallies and only time it happened is during the, then that should tell us something. Black mothers, I call flag on the play. The church camp meeting. I'm just saying, listen, I don't want to try to throw shade on anybody's efforts because listen, at the end of the day, everybody got a cause. You follow me? Everybody got a cause. And at the level of people understanding, that is the level that they will fight that cause in. You know what I mean? They would like for instance, that's not my cause. My cause is to build it from the mud, or let's affect things politically in a responsible way. That's where I'm at now. I'm at like we looked at these things in the past. They never made any change, made any difference. So if we're gonna do something, or I'm going to be a part of something, then let's just do it in a way where we can have checks and balances a year from now and see have we met what we sought out to do. Like the goal. What is the goal? If we're going to say I'm gonna fight for reparations and this is the step-by-step strategy, okay, we're going to organize. We're going to meet once a month. We're going to strategize, and we're going to hit this point to get to this point, to get to that point, to get to this point, to get to the goal. If we're not doing that, then we just might as well just go ahead, turn on the camera and give our observation or opinion on what's going on in society. And hopefully we can inspire people to join together and do something like that. But if that ain't what we doing, if we ain't strategizing to execute, like if we not strategizing to execute, then we slipping. We've been talking for far too long. We need to strategize to execute. And that's just the gospel. I mean, for example, I tell you right now, I'm doing a lecture, family. I am doing a lecture here in Baltimore on June the 8th at TNAT, Temple of New African Thought Holistic Wellness Center, 5525 Harford Road, Baltimore, Maryland. Unveiling Islam, African Tradition for Pan-African Empowerment. And let me tell you, what I'm going to be doing is going to be different than anything that you ever heard in a lecture. I'm not only going to show you, thank you, Golden Child. I'm not only going to show you the effectiveness of the principle of true Islam. And I'm saying the principle, I'm not talking about dressing up your wife and telling her to hide her eyes behind some cloth. I'm not talking about that type of Islam. I'm not talking about grow your beard and put some dye on that demonstration and start speaking Arabic. I'm not talking about that type of Islam, and I don't want to offend anybody, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the principle of Islam that swept through North Africa and inspired people to understand architecture better, to understand the stars and enhance things on a whole nother level. I'm talking about that type of principle that is driven. I mean, said, why you ain't smiling on that photo? No, because it's Sir's business. It's Sir's business, bro. I might put out one with a smile on it next week. You know what I mean? I might put a smile on it next week. But the point that I'm making is that the principle that drove our people into greatness has not been told. And I'm against all odds because what I'm talking about is not something that everybody is familiar with. Most people believe that Islam, as they know it, was the Islam that the people of North Africa accepted. That's not true. That's not true. The Islam that the people of North Africa accepted, agreed with Ifa, agreed with the indigenous tribal understanding of spirituality and spiritual systems. And they overlapped with this philosophy and ran with it, and they began to civilize the world. It is what it is. And so I'm going to be talking about that. And then on the flip side of it, I'm going to show how we should be using the same principles today. We should be using the same principles today to get back in our rightful place. We should be using the same exact principles, not the same customs, the same exact principles. What were the principles to drive us to greatness? What were they? Where are they? What do they look like? And that's what my lecture is going to be about. So when I'm finished, if we want to try to do something, we got the blueprint. And we can build on that blueprint. That's what type of lectures I like. The lectures I like is that, man, we could really put our community right here. We can really come together and do this right tomorrow. That's what type of lectures I like. I don't like to do lectures where I'm romanticizing about history. I'm romanticizing about, the Moors conquered Spain. Okay, what you conquer yesterday? Did you conquer your neighborhood block? Did you conquer the fool that's trying to dismantle you, disqualify you? Did you conquer that? Did you make sense about some of this weird stuff that we call religion yet? You know what I mean? But my point, whenever we talk, family, we should be looking at the problem and we should be making a pathway to get to the solution. That's it. That's it. If we're just looking at the problem without a roadmap to the solution that we can apply in real time, we shouldn't be qualified to be talking about the problem. That's right. If we're talking about Pan-Africanism, we shouldn't just be talking about, we are all one people. No. How do you get like-minded people to execute it? We don't need everybody. We just need like-minded people. If you are a Hebrew Israelite, if you are Moor, if you are a Christian or whoever you are, how can like-minded people work together and create their own economy, their own ecosystem, and compete for the resources under their feet? If you are in the Nation of Islam and you have yet to develop a community where you look out your door and you say, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam, sir, and the whole community is bow ties and bean pies, then somebody dropped the ball. If I can't look out the community and see like-minded people like myself striving to create an environment that is safe for me, my children, and my community, like-minded, somebody dropped the ball. Somebody dropped the ball. Somebody dropped the ball. We should be living amongst like-minded people. If we got people that want to bang that banger, we shouldn't have to live amongst that. If that's what they want to do it. Everybody ain't coming. That's another thing we need to break out of, thinking that everybody is going to be conscious one day and we all going to skip through the tulips and everything's going to be fine. No. Some people like to be in the mud. Some people that look like you like to be in the mud. It cools them down. They love it. And you got to just let them be in the mud. But for those who want something better, you are supposed to be uniting with them to create that environment so you can experience that better. And that's the real talk. I'm not of the thought that that everybody gonna live together because we got melanated complexion or we got copper tone. I'm not of that thought. I'm of the thought that some of the worst devils got copper and melanated complexions and they work for the worst devils with no complexion. I'm of that thought. Man, listen, I don't believe slavery could have happened without the participation of one that looked like us. I'm not of that thought that these people came over or and just rounded up people. I'm not of that thought. I believe and have faith and confidence that we are our worst enemy because we refuse to acknowledge the enemy within. You hear what I say? We are our worst enemy because we refuse to acknowledge the enemy within. Take it on a personal level. We are our worst enemy because within us, we are in a battle with our higher self and our lower self, our higher nature and our lower nature, our magnetizing, grounding, earthly nature, what people call carnal nature, and our divine nature is always at battle. And sometimes we make choices from a carnal nature, from a physical nature, from a murky ether of our fleshly nature. And sometimes we make decisions from our higher nature, our God self. And sometimes we don't know what to make a decision and draw from. So our ancestors say, know thyself. So you know where you're making your decisions from. Now, that is our greatest enemy because we don't know ourselves. Now you take it from the external point of view. Our greatest enemy is one that's amongst us that we can't even understand that this is the enemy. That this is the enemy. Someone said, so you're saying we help to colonize on every continent and every island in existence. I don't buy it. There's something missing in history to explain why these devils are on top. I'm telling you why they're on top. Two things happen to put Europeans on top. Number one, we let go our ancient traditions, our principles that kept us riding high. And we thought that the European water was wetter than ours. That's one of the things. We thought that the European water was wetter than ours. That's none. But when you start getting to the point of captivity, then it would take one of us to participate. Mental slavery, colonization of the mind starts before physical. So it doesn't matter the process that brings us to this point. What matter is the colonization of the mind, the mental slavery, so we can get out of this point. What I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, okay, they tricked you with a gun. These were some good guns. Okay, they tricked you with some trinkets. They tricked you with some spices. They tricked you with something. But it was us that co-signed it. No one can do nothing to you unless you co-sign it. That's it. Our ancestors co-signed it. Now, when you start talking about putting people into chains and then forcing them into labor, our ancestor participated. We can't get out that. So you know what that tells me? That's not that bad. That's not that bad. The bad thing is that we've refused to acknowledge the participators of today. I'm of the thought we as a people, we had to reach our lowest debt in order to reach our highest height. Once we overcome this low level of existence, we will be greater than the pharaohs of Egypt. We will be greater than all of historical greatness of our people, because we have reached a very, very low. And when we overcome, we are going to rise that much higher. But in order for us to rise that much higher, we first have to acknowledge the fox in the hen house. We must look within. Know thyself. Know thyself. Know thyself. We are all one people, but know ourselves. We're focusing too much attention on those outside of our group that already proved the potential of what they can do. And we have folk very little time on how to discover the genuine one amongst us. That doesn't mean not to trust one another. We should give everybody amongst us the benefit of the doubt. But we should also know the signs. We should also know the signs. We should also have our spirit right so we can feel the energy of those who are not as genuine as we would hope them to be. If your spirit ain't right, you can't feel something that ain't right. You walk right in your house and get knocked upside your head. But when your spirit right, you walk in the door. Oh man, it feels like somebody up in here. Oh no, this don't feel right. But when your spirit ain't right, when your soul dirty, you walk right up in the house. But when your spirit right, before you put your key in the door, you feel something ain't right. And we need to get back into that state. That is the principle in which I'm talking about. But with that being said, family, I've been on my soapbox. If I said something wrong, family, please forgive me. Sometimes in my teeming thoughts, I say some things. You know what I'm saying? I say some things. But it's never intentional to mislead or misguide anyone. Family, we have to look within. We have to know thyself. And we have to know ourselves as individuals, and we have to know ourselves as a collective. And until we get to that point, that thing that our ancestors told us, know thyself, family, we're going to be dealing with this for quite some time. I mean, we're going to be dealing with this for quite some time. It is what it is. So, family, peace and love. Check 1, 2. Let's go. Yo, this is a story about a brother, you know what I mean? I got this going. Small time, you heard? I'm gonna try to bring this back tomorrow. Check 1, 2. I spent much time, yes sir, in this small town before I came to the big city. Let me talk about it. Check 1, 2. Listen up. Hey family. I grew up on the wild side, the Naptown wild guy. Birthed in the trenches while I appreciate you, Zakaya. I appreciate you, Demetrius. Told me to keep my moves lazy. Mama used to tell me if you like it, I love it. I was bugging, living rugged, thugging like life wasn't nothing. Five waters gave me my heart. E-sport taught me to grind and shine even in the dark. Come on. Taught me to pack that gun. And God somebody say, get that cash out. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody gonna buy me a coffee. Oh my goodness, I love my life. I mean, when I used to go to Avenue. Thank you, Big Ma. Big Ma treat me to coffee in the morning. Thanks for the cash app, family. With a little bit of all of that. Come on, real. Thank you, Big Ma. Yeah. Man. gonna talk about this all week. We got a bunch of. We're gonna talk about all the leaders.
I grew up in a system, wasn't Muslim or Christian, just a hard-headed fool that wouldn't listen. Mom was the greatest, yeah, she was a law to me. She gave me her all, but I still was small. Victim to them lames and end up in them chains. 23 and 1 could drive any man insane. Instead, I reflected on the pain in the past. On how my pop was a ladies' man. Took the wrong path, and feeling abandonment and made me rebellious. Everyone predicted that I would be a failure. Did it in prison, serving a life sentence. But when I found the prophet, I had to bear witness. Oh Lord, if I can get you to think again. I woke up that day, you can save yourself. I woke up that day. I bought you everything you need to save a nation. Now take it and save yourself. I woke up save yourself. Day. Baltimore gave me my stripes. At the same time, saved my life. From Greenmount to Park Heights, Brooklyn to the Junction, Sandtown to the Village. I was fooled by the illest, realest drug dealers. Reformed to refine with a renewed mind. Yeah, it took me a minute, but ultimately I shine. I didn't flip the pack, started biz from scratch. Got on a bus and I put the temple on my back. Let's go. What up, Lil Mike? What up, so family, you know. What up, Chill? Many of us are not supposed to be here today. You know what I'm talking about? What up, Rolo? You know what I mean? A lot of us didn't make it, man, from in town. What up, Bob Waters 20? What up, Robert Johnson? Rest in peace, you know, all the hoods. What up, many of us wasn't supposed to make it here today. But every time, what up, DJ Ghost? When I click on Facebook and I see Mike from down 20, you know what I mean? He on his bike.